LA Rider is brought to you by Dudley DeBosier Injury Lawyers, serving Louisiana motorcyclists and their families for nearly 2 decades.
A motorcycle seems pretty simple. It has one engine, 2 wheels, and plenty of attitude. But you crash one of these babies, and things get complicated quick. That's when you need to call these guys.
At Dudley DeBosier, we keep it simple. When the insurance company tries to pay you less, we fight to get you more.
No hassle, no confusing legal terms, and no fee unless we get money for you.
Keep it simple. Call Dudley DeBosier. Motorcycle crash? Man, Dudley DeBosier. 444-4444.
Welcome to another great edition of LA Rider, Louisiana's #1 source for motorcycle travel and adventure. We're so glad you're joining us today. This week, we're back on the Natchez Trace and headed for a visit to one of our favorite little Tennessee towns, Leipers Fork. But on the way, we check out one of the mysteries of the Trace. Also this week, Tammi heads back to Clarksville, Tennessee for the big Veterans Day event at Appleton Harley-Davidson. Plus, we sample some great chili at the Night of Angels Fundraiser at Freedom Harley-Davidson in Baton Rouge. All this and more coming up on LA Rider. So kickstands up, everyone. It's time to take a ride. The northern portion of the Natchez Trace, from the Alabama border to just outside Nashville, is perhaps the most beautiful part of the entire 444-mile journey. This portion of the Trace is loaded with stunning vistas and majestic sweeping turns as it climbs northward out of Delta country into the Tennessee hills. There's never a dull moment as the Trace passes through bright green meadows, hardwood forests, and an occasional rocky outcropping. A journey on the northern portion of the Natchez Trace makes for a peaceful, relaxing motorcycle ride. This part of the Trace is also rich in history and a bit of mystery, too, like the death of Meriwether Lewis of Lewis and Clark fame. On October 10, 1809, Lewis died mysteriously on the Trace about 60 miles south of Nashville at a place called Grinder's Stand. We are at the Meriwether Lewis site. Let's go read the plaque and see what it says. Beneath this monument, erected under legislative act by the state of Tennessee, A.D. 1848, reposes the dust of Meriwether Lewis, a captain in the United States Army, private secretary to President Jefferson, senior commander of the Lewis and Clark expedition, and governor of the territory of Louisiana. Witnesses heard 2 gunshots in the middle of the night and found Lewis dying in his bed. The death was ruled a suicide, and he was buried nearby. But to this day, some historians think Lewis was murdered. Just 45 miles north of the Meriwether Lewis site is one of the coolest little towns on the entire Natchez Trace. In fact, early trace travelers, perhaps even Meriwether Lewis, often began or ended their journeys in the community of Leipers Fork. About 650 people call Leipers Fork home, but on weekends, hundreds of tourists crowd its craft shops and art galleries. Many Leipers Fork visitors come for a meal at Fox and Lock, a popular eatery and music venue, which until recently was called Puckett's.
Ready for some good eats?
I am. I'm starving.
Me too. Now this is Fox and Lock. Last time I was here, it was actually Puckett's.
Oh, that's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a minute.
So Tammi, since you've lived in Nashville so many times,
Yeah.
do you know any history about Leipers Fork?
You know, a little bit, because this is really kind of a destination place for a lot of people who come into town and want to get outside of the city. And so Leipers Fork is going to be about 45 minutes or so down south of Nashville and Williamson County. And it is like a little postcard here.
And it's a beautiful drive down here.
And it is very scenic. A lot of country music stars live in Williamson County. We're at a place called Fox and Lock. It was actually opened in 1947, I think, and it changed hands for a little bit and became Puckett's Grocery. But it started out as this was the little grocery store, you know, for the town. It was the Mercantile, back when they called it the Mercantile. But it's also a music venue. You can come here and I think pretty much 7 nights a week you can hear some great music. As a matter of fact, a Louisiana boy plays here pretty regularly, Carter Wyndham. Fantastic little singer. And so a lot of people come here just for the nighttime entertainment as well as the food.
Now, there are all sorts of goodies on the menu, but you know Tammi, if someone is serving fried bologna sandwiches, she is having one.
You know I can't pass up a fried bologna sandwich. My daddy, Billy Ray, would be so happy right now.
Oh, that looks yummy. I like when it's fried really, really well.
The char.
The char, yes.
The char is the best part.
That's right. I agree.
Yum, yum. Good decision. All right, now we gotta walk off that good food.
That's right.
Hi there. Oops, excuse us.
Excuse me.
Okay. All right, we don't have a long walk,
Right.
but it's a worthy walk.
Right. After a meal like that, it was definitely time for a little walking. But Tammi and I didn't get very far before we ran into a fellow biker. Well, actually, he found us while we were admiring his great-looking pickup.
We're admiring, yeah.
Good to see you.
Hi, Tammi Arender with
Josh.
LA Rider TV.
Josh James, good to see you.
Josh, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi, how'd you get you?
Nice to
What
meet
you
you.
got
I'm Josh
here?
James.
Tell us about your little place.
So welcome to Hank's Coffee Station. We're new to Leipers Fork.
Okay.
We've been here about 3 weeks now, and we got our main cafe opening in Franklin in about a month and a half at the old gas station on West Main.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so what is special about your coffee?
Oh, you got to get up there and try some.
We gotta
and then
try
I'll
it.
ask you. How about
Okay. All right.
Even though we were filled to the gills, Josh convinced us to try his coffee.
This made my knees go weak. Okay.
Oh, you hear that?
I am weak in the knees over there.
It must have been the pistachio.
It's
you
my
know?
new love.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love
What'd you
that for
think?
you.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah?
Fabulous.
Come on
Fabulous.
now. We
It
like
really
that.
is.
We appreciate y'all coming by. Savannah, you hear that? You got a raving review on the French toast latte.
Look at her. She's
on.
raving.
Oh, my new hero.
She is the creator of that one. So
After a great meal and a super cup of gourmet coffee, Tammi and I retreated to the banks of Leipers Creek to do a little swangin', as Tammi likes to call it, while taking in the fresh country air.
Just do some swinging.
Okay. Did you love that song? That was always
That was one of my favorites. Love John
swangin'.
Anderson.
Yes. Oh my
And this is
goodness.
what it's about right here.
It just doesn't get any better than this.
LA Rider is brought to you by the Motorcycle Awareness Campaign, a 501c3 nonprofit organization exclusively dedicated to promoting motorcycle awareness and rider safety throughout Louisiana and the nation.
I didn't see him.
She just came out of nowhere.
God, what am I gonna do?
Watch for us.
See us.
Watch for us.
See us.
Watch for us. See us. Watch for us.
See us.
Watch for us.
Save us.
Nearly 2/3 of all motorcycle fatalities are caused by distracted and inattentive drivers. Please, watch for motorcycles.
Want a high-quality used motorcycle delivered to your door with a money-back guarantee? At usedbikesdirect.com, you can choose from hundreds of high-quality American, Japanese, and European motorcycles. Just browse our website, pick your bike, get your financing, and arrange your trade-in, all from the comfort of your home. And we'll deliver it straight to your door for free, complete with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Buying a used motorcycle has never been easier or safer. Just go to usedbikesdirect.com and start shopping.
Motocross? We've got it at G&N Gonzalez in Baton Rouge. All the bikes, all the gear, and the expertise to help make you number one at the track. From beginner to expert, we've got just what you need at G&N Gonzalez in Baton Rouge. Come see us today at G&N Gonzalez, Louisiana's oldest family-owned power sports dealer, located in downtown Baton Rouge in the shadow of the state capitol.
Race on down to G&N Gonzalez. Becoming number one starts here. We're waiting for you!
For the best in restorative and cosmetic dental care, choose Dr. Jason Hutto. Your smile is important, and so is your overall oral health. And at the dental office of Jason Hutto, our aim is to provide the highest quality dental care. From implants and cosmetic procedures to fillings, root canals, and cleaning, choose Dr. Jason Hutto.
Hi, I'm Jason Hutto. Call for your appointment today.
But not on Fridays. That's the day we ride.
For more than 40 years, Robert Rad Leonard has provided South Louisiana motorcyclists with all their needs, from a showroom jam-packed with all the latest gear to a full-service shop featuring skilled technicians who handle everything from routine service to complete engine rebuilds. Rad Cycles also carries a huge selection of pre-owned models and has the area's largest inventory of used bike parts. For all your riding needs, do what South Louisiana motorcyclists have been doing since 1978. Go Rad. Rad Cycles. They're rider recommended.
I didn't see him.
She just came out of nowhere.
God, what am I gonna do?
Watch for us.
See us.
Watch for us.
See us.
Watch for us.
See us.
Watch for us.
See us. Watch for us.
Save us.
Looking for a trailer? Check out Mike Gerald's Trailer Depot. At Mike's 2 Baton Rouge locations, you'll find a huge inventory of high-quality motorcycle trailers, boat trailers, cargo trailers, utility trailers, and custom-built trailers. Plus, the largest inventory of trailer parts and accessories in the area. Can't find that perfect trailer? Let Mike build one for you. Mike Gerald's Trailer Depot. 2 locations in Baton Rouge to serve you. They're rider recommended.
Welcome back to LA Rider. I'm Tammi Arender in Clarksville, Tennessee, and this is actually being recorded on Veterans Day, November 11th. What an opportunity and an outpouring of support for our veterans. We are just down the road actually here in Clarksville from Fort Campbell, Kentucky. So this is a big military town, and they have turned out in droves here at Appleton Harley-Davidson. They have been doing this ceremony and honoring veterans on Veterans Day for 23 years, and oh, the stories were amazing. This is a common sight each Veterans Day in Clarksville, Tennessee. Miles of motorcycles meandering through the streets of this army town, headed to Appleton Harley-Davidson. Tia Suter and her husband, owners of Appleton, have been honoring veterans on this day for 23 years now.
We rub elbows with America's finest men and women. And I think the families suffer too, and people don't maybe give them enough recognition when the families have to endure loss, or even just being away and don't have the father there, you know, and the woman has got to sit there and figure it out for herself. I don't think they get enough recognition. Everybody endures it.
Fort Campbell is just down the road from this dealership, so every day is Veterans Day here. For Terry Vinson, a retired Army veteran, but still active at events like this, raising the POW MIA flag, it's a time to remind everyone that there are still some 81,000 service members unaccounted for that never came home. When asked how does he feel on this day set aside to honor him and the other service members, his response?
To me, as a veteran, it's an honor to serve the greatest nation in the world. And most veterans you talk to, when people say thank you for your service, the majority of them will respond with something of that nature, that it was my honor to serve. And they appreciate the comment, but they're more honored to serve this country than anything.
Appleton opens up their parking lot to vendors, musicians, food trucks, and guest speakers, dedicating the entire day to those who fight for our freedoms, like Doug England. England is known as one of the most impactful aviators in the history of the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment. He has flown over 7,000 hours of flight time and had 34 combat tours in support of the global war on terrorism.
I ended up deploying 34 times and flew over 2,500, so 2,500 combat missions, and somehow without a scratch. And been shot at, shot down. I've been in multiple, first aircraft in Afghanistan or one of, first aircraft in Iraq, on multiple high-risk missions. So for some reason today I'm here by the grace of God.
England and the others are humbled and honored that the dealership and the country set aside this day to remind folks that freedom is not free. And Vincent says it's so important for the next generation to grasp the sacrifice made so they can live in the land of the free.
They need to understand that the price of freedom involves a lot of sacrifice by those that are willing to protect freedom, not just the service members, but also their families. They sacrifice a great deal while their spouses and loved ones are serving. And that is time that you can never get back. That time you lose with your family on a deployment, fighting a war, training, whatever it is. But I just want our young generation now to really truly understand and appreciate liberty and freedom and never let that go.
Couldn't you just talk to Terry and Doug all day long? The stories they have to share, the life they've lived, the sacrifices they've made for our country. So I do hope that you were able to honor our veterans on Veterans Day. And as I say, you know what, every day if you wake up, you need to thank God. If you ate or wear clothes, you need to thank a farmer. And if you were able to walk out the door and do whatever you want to do, you need to thank a veteran for all of our freedoms. In Clarksville, Tennessee, I'm Tammi Arender for LA Rider.
LA Rider is brought to you by the Motorcycle Awareness Campaign, a 501c3 nonprofit organization exclusively dedicated to promoting motorcycle awareness and rider safety throughout Louisiana and the nation.
I didn't see him.
She just came out of nowhere.
Oh, God, what am I gonna do?
Watch for us.
See us.
Watch for us.
See us.
Watch for us.
See us. Watch for us.
See us.
Watch for us.
Save us.
Nearly two-thirds of all motorcycle fatalities are caused by distracted and inattentive drivers. Please, watch for motorcycles.
Want a high-quality used motorcycle delivered to your door with a money-back guarantee? At usedbikesdirect.com, you can choose from hundreds of high-quality American, Japanese, and European motorcycles. Just browse our website, pick your bike, get your financing, and arrange your trade-in, all from the comfort of your home. And we'll deliver it straight to your door for free, complete with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Buying a used motorcycle has never been easier or safer. Just go to usedbikesdirect.com and start shopping.
Motocross, We've got it at G & Gonzalez in Baton Rouge. All the bikes, all the gear, and the expertise to help make you number one at the track. From beginner to expert, we've got just what you need at G & Gonzalez in Baton Rouge. Come see us today at G & Gonzalez, Louisiana's oldest family-owned power sports dealer, located in downtown Baton Rouge in the shadow of the state capitol.
Race on down to G & Gonzalez. Becoming number one starts here. We're waiting for you!
Support motorcycle safety and encourage other drivers to watch for motorcycles. Purchase a motorcycle awareness specialty plate for your car, truck, or motorcycle. For an additional $25 a year, you can help the Motorcycle Awareness Campaign promote safety, awareness, and training programs throughout Louisiana.
I'm T.W. Robinson. No matter what you ride, put a MAC plate on it and help support motorcycle awareness wherever you go.
For more than 40 years, Robert Rad Leonard has provided South Louisiana motorcyclists with all their needs, from a showroom jam-packed with all the latest gear to a full-service shop featuring skilled technicians who handle everything from routine service to complete engine rebuilds. Rad Cycles also carries a huge selection of pre-owned models and has the area's largest inventory of used bike parts. For all your riding needs, do what South Louisiana motorcyclists have been doing since 1978. Go Rad. Rad Cycles. They're rider recommended.
For the best in restorative and cosmetic dental care, choose Dr. Jason Hutto. Your smile is important, and so is your overall oral health. And at the dental office of Jason Hutto, our aim is to provide the highest quality dental care. From implants and cosmetic procedures to fillings, root canals, and cleaning, choose Dr. Jason Hutto.
Hi, I'm Jason Hutto. Call for your appointment today.
But not on Fridays. That's the day we ride.
Looking for a trailer? Check out Mike Gerald's Trailer Depot. At Mike's 2 Baton Rouge locations, you'll find a huge inventory of high-quality motorcycle trailers, boat trailers, cargo trailers, utility trailers, and custom-built trailers. Plus, the largest inventory of trailer parts and accessories in the area. Can't find that perfect trailer? Let Mike build one for you. Mike Gerald's Trailer Depot. 2 locations in Baton Rouge to serve you. They're rider recommended.
I'm T.W. Robinson, and we're here at the Night of Angels Chili Cook-Off at Freedom Harley-Davidson in Baton Rouge.
Today is our annual chili cook-off for Night of Angels. It's our fundraiser for Night of Angels. It's where we all come together, the motorcycle community, independence clubs, everybody comes together, and we do this chili cook-off to raise funds. And our angels, some people say special needs, or our angels are divinely enabled. They're our special angels. So this is all to help put on our Night of Angels that happens in December, the 17th this year. And so that's what we're doing today, seeing who's going to go home with that big trophy.
It really looks like it's great chilly weather, but it could be a little cooler. But the chili is hot enough.
Bet this is hot. We'll see. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, she said. Oh, wow.
What is
either really bad or really good.
What does that mean? It's like bacon.
That's a raccoon.
Raccoon? Okay. I'm gonna have another bite, but it kind of looks like bacon to me.
Raccoon bacon.
Now that was a surprise. I've never had bacon in chili. But it's delicious. That's delicious.
Well, what we do is we bring the families in, the Angels and 4 of their family members, and we bring them in to the Lamar Dixon Expo Center, and we just parade them up and down the aisles and just give them love and cheer them on and just show them that we love them. I mean, we love them, and that we're always thinking of them, we're always praying for them, and it's just a night about them. And it's a night where the families and the caregivers can take a night off. So we'll parade them up and down. We load their little wagons full of toys and just give them love. They have toys and just all kinds of stuff. And then when we're done with that, we'll seat the family, we'll sing some Christmas carols, and then we serve them dinner. I've seen 6'5", 350-pound guys crying to see these Angels just feel that love that the community gives them. Bikers at that. They love motorcycles. Who doesn't? Right? So, and then see the families know that we're here for them, and to just, that we accept those Angels for everything, and just show them that love. That's what it's all about.
We hope you've enjoyed our show this week, and we also hope you'll come back again next week for another great edition of LA Rider. Like we always say, we haven't been everywhere, but it's on our list. I'm T.W. Robinson, and I'll see you again next week.
LA Rider is brought to you by Dudley DeBosier Injury Lawyers, serving Louisiana motorcyclists and their families for nearly 2 decades. Dudley DeBosier, official injury lawyers for the Motorcycle Awareness Campaign.
When you get on a bike, you got to watch out for gravel, potholes, and knucklehead drivers.
But after a crash, here's what you gotta watch out for. Insurance adjusters. They can be tough on injured bikers.
They may try to pin the blame on you or pay less than you deserve.
So if you've been injured, here's what you should do.
Call the lawyers who look out for bikers. That's Dudley DeBosier. Motorcycle crash? Demand different. Demand Dudley DeBosier. 444-4444.
God bless chrome cowgirls like us.